Now, if you're someone who's super focused on maximizing your potential, but you still get that feeling sometimes where you're just running on a treadmill and not actually getting anywhere, well, stick around because this specific key is going to be incredibly relevant for you.
Life is filled with problems, and oftentimes we wonder why. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Get the keys to win at life today.
Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here. We are jumping straight in today because we are unpacking a really powerful, highly practical concept from Dr. C. Ruth Taylor. We're specifically looking at key number 12 from her amazing series, Keys to Win at Life, 100 Proven Ways to Handle Life's Challenges. Now, if you're someone who's super focused on maximizing your potential, but you still get that feeling sometimes where you're just running on a treadmill and not actually getting anywhere, well, stick around because this specific key is going to be incredibly relevant for you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Are you busy or winning? I mean, it's a deceptively simple question, right? But it really cuts to the core of how so many of us operate nowadays. We live in this modern culture that literally glorifies busyness. We treat a jammed calendar and total exhaustion like there's some kind of badge of honor. But honestly, how often do we actually pause and ask ourselves if all that frantic movement is translating into real, tangible progress? It's such a relatable feeling, putting in maximum effort, feeling totally drained, but having zero to show for it by the time Friday rolls around.
Section 1. The busyness trap, or as it's perfectly put here, majoring on the minor.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the profound shift in thinking it demands. Dr. Taylor identifies our modern exhaustion as a trap. Basically, we major on the minor. We get so caught up in the daily grind, answering every email, checking off tiny to-do list items, that we're actually busy with the completely wrong things. The result? We just waste our precious time and energy. We mistake motion for action. But this old Italian proverb completely shifts the paradigm. The end praises the work. I love that. Let me say it again. The end praises the work. This is the absolute anchor of Dr. Taylor's 12th key. It highlights a hard, unyielding truth. The activities themselves don't actually matter. The results are what matter. The final outcome is what ultimately validates all the sweat and time you poured into a task.
Section 2. The vital few versus the trivial many.
So, to truly escape that busyness trap, we have to look at the mechanics of this philosophy and figure out how to filter the noise. Dr. Taylor explains that when we become strictly results-oriented, our whole approach to the day fundamentally shifts. We suddenly become way more efficient users of our time. Look at the contrast here. On the left side, you've got the trivial many, the busyness, the endless activities, the minor tasks that just eat up our working hours but don't actually move the needle. But over on the right side, we have the vital few. Expected results, tangible outcomes, actual winning. Dr. Taylor urges us to just relentlessly separate the vital few from the trivial many. If you want the right results, you have to be willing to brutally cut away the stuff on the left to focus your energy entirely on the right.
Section 3. Everyday outcome applications.
So how does this actually look in daily life? Well, the absolute foundational rule here is that you absolutely must know your expected outcome before you start any task. You can't just start working and cross your fingers hoping you end up somewhere good. You have to define the finish line before taking the first step. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to do that using a practical teaching example straight from Dr. Taylor's text. Step 1. Write your objectives. What exactly do you want to achieve by the very end of the lesson? Step 2. Plan the methodology to achieve those specific results. Notice the order there. The desired end completely dictates the work. You don't just pick a teaching method at random to see what happens. No. You pick the destination first, and then you build the exact road needed to get there.
And this principle scales across absolutely every field. Let's just rapidly run through these real-life outcomes. In sports, the outcome isn't just showing up to play, it's the trophy, the prize money, finishing in first place. In school, it's not just passing a test or sitting in a chair, it's the future career and the income that your education is going to generate for you. In sales, it's hitting that specific daily number or a major financial target. Maintaining a laser focus on these outcomes is exactly what makes success possible no matter what arena you're operating in.
Section 4. The Olympic Standard.
Now, let's build on that sports analogy for a second, because Dr. Taylor provides an ultimate real-life application that brings this whole concept home with just incredible power. Think about an Olympic athlete. The dedication is staggering, right? They train for years, they're up way before dawn, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. They might even win dozens of practice heats and preliminary meets along the way. But here is the intense, unavoidable reality of it all. Those years of training, those practice heats, they do not actually matter in the final race. All of that preparation is just activity. It is only the result in that final race that makes a difference.
So, the crucial point is, despite all of that monumental, mind-boggling effort, only 3 positions actually count in the end. Just 3: gold, silver, and bronze. If you train tirelessly for 4 entire years and come in 4th place, you know what? You don't get a medal for your busyness. You don't get a spot on the podium just for your activities. You are measured entirely by the result. The world doesn't praise the training, it praises the podium. Once again, the end praises the work.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for this explainer. What does your end look like before you start your next work? I really want to challenge you to think about this today. Before you flip open your laptop, before you commit to that new side project, before you schedule yet another meeting, define your finish line. Stop valuing your own busyness, implement key number 12, and start winning with results. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you all next time.
Get the keys to Win at Life today. Order your paperback or Kindle from Amazon.